Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what I'm noticing across the market and some things that I think we need to pay attention to. First, I would like to thank Tom for sending me a article and a little information on USDT, how it's possibly starting to depeg from the US dollar. And I'm going to share this article because it's very, very important. Even though it still shows close to 1-to-1 pegging right now, when you look at the USDT pool, it's starting to dry up. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, we're going to take a look at XRP, as if you watched the update last night. And I appreciate the 600 plus views. I really do, because that went out at around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night. I talked about how XRP needed to push up to the 482 level. And we're either going to get a rejection at 477, 482, or 494. Any one of those three areas will send you back down to the 44 cent level, and that's where you would meet the inverted head and shoulders neckline. But as of right now, you still can use 46 cents as a support on the broadening wedge and reverse all the way back up to the 585 level. It's just like I said, there's precursors. You have to break the 477, which we did. Then you would have to break the 482 and get on top of, which we have not, because we broke back down to the 481 right now. And then after that, you'd need to get on top and hold the 494. And then you might be able to push a return rally back up. Anything short of that, a rejection, any one of those three aforementioned levels, you come back down to approximately 44 cents. And that's the inverted head and shoulders neckline. As I don't believe 46 cents would hold if you in that scenario. I think you'd have to come down and hit the bottom of the broadening wedge and then try to make a run. So we have a lot to talk about this morning. Make sure you hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. And remember, positivity over negativity. It's our job to be positive. It's our ability that we can start positive on each and every day. And with that positive mindset and not playing the victim, which is very important. Don't play the victim, especially in the comments. Play the winner, which means you make winning plays in the most stressful of times. So then when you make these plays, when the time is right, it's going to pay off tenfold. So right now, remember, in the trying times, you have to be emotionally sound and mentally strong. Be a winner. Don't be a victim. Good morning. 9:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, June 17th, 2023. I'm T-Speaker222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future DigiByte OG. So I want to start with this. USDT depeg concerns arise amid curve pool imbalance. Tether CTO cites FUD. So let's see, in fact, if this is FUD or something to be of substance. So, Tether USDT, the popular stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, has recently experienced a depegging phenomenon, causing quite a stir in the cryptocurrency market. Better safe than sorry. USDT greater minus greater USDC. USDT has depegged by 0.4% and may depeg by even more. Let's explore what's going on. So one consequence of the depegging is the overflowing liquidity pools on Curve and Uniswap. These have been flooded with USDT sellers. As a result, USDT briefly traded below the usual parity of $1. The situation is particularly concerning in Curve's 3 pool, the leading liquidity pool for USDT trading, which has become heavily imbalanced. USDT depegs again, as well as dump largest stablecoin Tether wobbles as Curve 3 pool becomes imbalanced. Currently, the pool comprises 57 million worth of DAI, 56 million worth of USDC, and a staggering 267 million worth of USDT. This means that Tether stablecoin constitutes a significant 70.26% of the pool. It is far from the ideal distribution of 33.3% each for USDT, USDC, and DAI. So I want to leave it there. We're going to get into the charts of XRP. If you're interested in that discussion, I'm going to continue that at the end of this update. But I want to get into XRP so I don't lose everybody's interest. And then I want to get into as well, I'll take a quick look at XLM and DGB as well this morning. So XRP sitting up plus 1.22%. So what we're talking about, what I was talking about in that earlier update, the first of 3 rejections you could get. 1, we've already successfully held. We could have got a rejection here, but we held support. Now we came up to 482. We came up in about 12 hours ago up to the 486 level. Broke back down. Actually, not even 12 hours ago, but within the last 3-4 hour candles. Now we're at the 482 level. As we talked about yesterday, this 20-day is right at the 482 level now. So if you're going to get a proper rejection here in the 4-hour time frame after the death cross, and there's not going to be a big return rally or a retest of the 200-day, which would bring you up to the 494 level, right now you could get a proper rejection here on a thinly traded weekend. And if you do, it's going to send you all the way back down, likely to that 44-cent mark down in this area. Like you're going to, I think if you get rejected, you can consolidate out, and then you're going to reject down to here, into that 4.4 area, that 44 cents, which is also the bottom of the broadening wedge. So right now, that's a very likely point of rejection if we can't get a little bit of strength. But on a thinly traded weekend, I would not be surprised if it came back to where it circled and hit the 494 level and then tried to go from there. We are thinly traded this weekend, so pay very close attention to the optics. The volume portfolio, I will tell you on that push up, nothing impressive at all. If you're looking purely at volume, this is a dead pattern. We need a lot of help. That volume on XRP for the pushes up, you had a little bit of volume here. You had about 1.7 million in that 30-minute, and then you had a consolidation, quick liquidity candles. On the dump candles, we had 3.93. So we had 3.93 on the big dump candle. On the push up candle, we had 1.32. So we had 33% the volume to push up as the dump volume, which means that this pattern right now is not looking very healthy. But we watched to see if that's a W reversal for them. We had a bullish cross in the 20-day. In the 30-minute time frame, the 20 crossing the 50, and now it's crossed the 100. But if you're going to get rejected in the 30-minute, you get rejected by the 200, and then the 4-hourly would reject you at 482. We're squeezed right now. We have the 4868 we came up to in the shorter time frame, got rejected. Now in the higher time frame, if we get rejected at 482, it's a problem. But make sure this weekend, on a thinly traded weekend, you're watching solidly, not just the 482, but the 494 level. In order for us to reverse this pattern formation, we would have to break back above 51 cents. And then ultimately get on top of the 51. I don't know why that's up at 5. That's supposed to be 51 cents. I don't know how they got moved there, but 51 cents. Let me get rid of this real quick, because I want this to be where it's supposed to be, because it's going to confuse my pattern formation. Well, we do have 508, which was a major resistance support level on the breakdown. So we'll look at it like that, 50 cents, 508. But right now, remember those 3 rejection points. The 477, which we're holding right now, the 482, or the 494, which it technically could come up to in the 4-hour time frame for the 200-day resistance to be met. And it's a thinly traded weekend, so watch that. Unless it breaks down on the 482 where it's at right now, even though it's thinly traded, which would make it harder to break down. But if it does, I expect it to come down and start dilly-dallying in that area. And then if we were to get a rejection there, that's when, the pattern could break down and then come to the 2021 uptrend, which is at 36 cents. Just remember, out of that broadening wedge, the technical target on a breakdown is 36 cents. And then for a breakout, we won't even know until we get back up to the 585 level, as that's where the current top of the broadening wedge is. So make sure you're paying attention to that. XLM real quick. XLM is still playing down to that technical target when it lost it, or got rejected and lost 878. We have a technical target still that we haven't quite hit, but it's down here at the 0.7 level, 7 cents. So technically right now we're coming up to a rejection point. We could get rejected by 787 and then end up pushing down if the 20-day is holding. Otherwise, you'd come back up and try to hit this broken rejection point at 8.5, but I'm not seeing that. I think we're a little bearish here, so unless we can push up with some volume right now, you could get a rejection here, but it's a thinly traded weekend. If we don't get rejected by this area, look for a return rally to 8.55, and then if you get a rejection at any point, you're coming down to that 7 cent level. And then I can make it a little bit, or let me pull this out just a little bit. And then if you break that, that's where you have some big problems. If you break that 7 cent area, there are a few areas in between. You still got to deal with the 6.1 and the 5.3, but the next major support area is way down at 3.9. So like, if we do get a big rejection here, it's a big problem in this area for Exelon. But as it is, pay attention to the technical target down here at 7 cents and or a return rally first up to 8.5 on this thinly traded weekend. Just pay attention to that because we're right up at the rejection point at 7.9 if you get a rejection. And then DGB is looking at rejection here, folks. And if it gets rejection here, we got to come back down to the bottom of this support. And that would be the bottom of the other part of the channel that we broke out of. A rejection at 6.1, you're technically targeting down a move of 50% down to the 003. There is, so don't get ahead of yourself. There is in between. We've got, if this breaks down, because the rejection point at 6.1, then you've got underneath support and the technical target that should bring you down to 5.1, 0051 if this breaks down. You've got a structure at 0055 that could hold you. But then if you break down from that, it's 5.2. And then if you get a rejection there, the technical target is all the way down at 0018. Yes, there is a spot at 0026 that can hold us, but this technical target's come all the way back from the rejection of this broken ascending triangle when we got the proper rejection all the way back on March 15th of this year. And it's playing down in the descending triangle fashion. A breakdown would get us down to 00018 technically. A break up would get you back to the 1 cent mark. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And then I want to finish with this. If you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit that like button, as it greatly helps push me through the analytics. If you want to show support for my work, all I ask for you to do is join Tom's Army, and I have a mission statement in the video description below. As it's $9.99 a month. All my content goes out for free, but you are a vital part in that process. And you have a lot of... the members of Tom's Army deserve a lot of respect because you allow me to keep creative control. I don't do paid advertising or paid promotions for a reason. I don't do anything like that, and I put all my content out for free. Nothing's behind a paywall. So I thank each and every one of you members of Tom's Army, and anybody who in the past has been generous enough to send a donation. It greatly helps the cause. So USDT depegs by minus 0.4%. Whenever there is an excess of a particular stablecoin in a pool, it can lead to a slight depegging. Similarly, the increased weightage of Tether stablecoin in Curve 3 pool caused it depegging by 0.4% to 0.99578. This raised concerns among investors and traders who rely on the stability of stablecoins for their transactions and investments. So the price is currently hovering around 0.99801. It's come back up a little bit at this current press time, meaning the stablecoin has recovered almost half of its price drop. Currently, USDT is minus 0.19% down in 24 hours with the market cap of $83 billion. And this was as of yesterday. Trading volume is $29 billion with 43.24% gains. Although USDT was occasionally experienced price discrepancies before, it has never sustained a prolonged depeg from its intended value of $1. Therefore, market participants were not panicking and hoped it would rebound. USDT depeg actually is not a bad sign that it is being portrayed. It has marked the bottom in its history. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Side Earth, Singal, June 15, 2023. Arbitrageurs benefiting from USDT depegging. And this is the last thing I'm going to read. Borrowers took advantage of the devalued tethered stablecoin by selling it for DAI or USDC. These two maintain their standard 1-to-1 peg with the US dollar. One interesting case involved an Ethereum address called czsamsung.eth. The address used collateral consisting of 17,400 Ethereum and 14,690 STETH to borrow 31.5 million USDT from AVE2. They then exchanged this USDT for 31.47 million USDC at 0.997 on Curve. After making deposits amounting to 10 million in V2 and 21 million in V3, the borrower proceeded to take a loan of 12 million USDT from V3 and transferred it to V2. So that's pretty interesting. Again, make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate each and every one of you. I always try to bring you a jam-packed update full of information. If you can't understand the XRP technical analysis that I presented, make sure you tune in at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily when I go live for approximately 30 minutes a day, and I try to break down the current market ebb and flow, and I take questions from the audience. There's no charge. This is free to everybody who's involved. Anybody who wants to take the time to watch, I encourage you to educate yourself. Remember, don't play the victim, play the winner. When you play the victim, bad things tend to come towards your way. We always have the negative connotation. If we play the winner and we have that positive mindset, we look for the positive things within everything we're doing, and the positivity and law of attraction finds us. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of the heart, and I mean that, each of you individually, because individually makes us who we are, and it helps this community thrive strong. But we have to have our independent emotional status under control. Keep your emotions under control, and we can do great things.